Hello. Today we talk about how to deal with rejection. A big word. The phonetics are already too high. Rejection. It comes as an impact. Like Trump would say, you are fired. Literally, rejection. But the fact is, there is no rejection. The world sees these big terminologies as stopping points, as full stops. World does not see that how these words affect people emotionally or sentimentally. The world sees it as a no. In my dictionary, there is no no. In my dictionary, there is nothing called rejection. It can have multiple meanings. It can have meanings that I'm a Hindu, I would say this is not the path that you have to follow. There is a better path waiting for you. For someone who does not have too much belief or faith, I would say rejection is something that you are not made for. Rejection is something that you should take in the light of learning. Rejection is something you should take as something which was destined for you at that moment in time, but is not the full stop. It can be a comma, it can be a semicolon, it can be a hyphen, but it cannot be a full stop. Rejections typically happens in multiple areas. It can happen professionally when you don't find yourself being successful in certain project or certain things that you do, and you have put in a lot of time and efforts, and you still did not succeed. Rejection can also be in form of personal relationships where people don't find themselves compatible and they said, okay, she rejected me, he rejected me. I don't know how the breakups are called rejections in certain forms. Or it can be in rejection through your own emotional self, that you feel rejected within your own life. That is most terrible actually. When you emotionally don't fit in within your own body. You feel you don't want to be in the world that you are surrounded with. These are the three types of rejections which I can come off. Professionally, it is just a change of path. It is easy. There is no substantial problems with rejection. You just need to find different ways, different avenues, and it actually, because we are structured like this in our body, those rejections are easy to handle. The second rejection of, say, relationships are critical because there are emotional components attached to it. Subconsciously, you might not know which, what, and for whom, and why did it happen. And rejections in terms of when the reasons are not explained explicitly, or when you are trying to find something deeper and you're not satisfied with the reason given to you, that's a problem, because rejection is also acceptance. If you accept it, rejections go off easily. If you don't accept it, they keep lingering on. So in that sense, relationships can, in terms of rejections, can also be passed on with time. Lastly, the rejection within yourself of you, who you are, where you belong, that is the most difficult to handle, because that's why you have to understand where you stand with yourself in your heart, in your mind, you have to find your positivity. You have to find that element of getting out of that rejection. People can help you, they can have a dialogue, they can consult you, you can go to, I think, psychologists and also try silence or yoga or meditation. But your own personal rejection within your own self is a difficult answer to get out and find it within yourself. For me, my personal example, I think rejection happened in all three areas. Firstly, I could not get into an Ivy League management school with the grades that I had, and I felt that, okay, all my friends are getting into Ivy League management schools and I could not. So I found myself rejected. But I realized that this was not the stream. And my master's I did in something different and I was best at it. Secondly, personal life, when I got rejected, it was something to do with not understanding that the paths are not convergent, but the paths are divergent. and I was trying to converge it when there was no possibility. And it is to understand personalities and link personalities to your desires and your emotions. Yes, it can happen, but then it was handled with the longevity of time, say 1 year, 1.5 years. Thirdly, when you go through a level of, I went through a level of personal loss, and that's where I wanted to burn the world. I just could not imagine how the world existed in that balance. And in that rejection, it took me and multiple elements of spirituality, of finding my means of existence, finding my own self, reasoning it out with my family, connecting more with people, finding my openness. So I think the element which to find yourself rejected in a world which is existing around you and then finding your own place is the most difficult. And it's a personal experience, so everybody would have it and dealt with it differently. A personal loss is a very different loss, and it's also differently manifested. So hence, rejection is not an end. Rejection is not something which is a word which is in bold letters, alphabets, and trying to make you feel something. It is just a Fermi layer which is semi-permeable. You can pass through it, fold it, crumple it, throw it. It is just that you have to move away from it and find something new, exciting, believing, enduring, hardworking, loving emotionally, and finding smiles. It's something as simple. When you find smiles, you will forget rejection very fast. And that's where you have to belong. Thank you.